Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Speed Champions Aston Martin Vantage safety car and AM23 Formula One set. This has 564 pieces. It cost me $45 US. Comes with 2 minifigures and I built it live over on Twitch. The build of the Vantage safety car felt par for the course for Speed Champions today in 2024 in the 8-wide era, meaning it was excellent. However, it did not feel a cut above even that. You know, this was not one of the most amazing build experiences I've ever had. It's just right there, I'd say right in the middle of state of the art for Speed Champions right now, which is great, which is truly great. Now they've done Vantage before, and I'll show you the difference between them, but this one definitely takes advantage of the latest pieces that weren't available when the last one came out, such as the slight little notch wedge piece that they've got here, the 1x2 wedge tile. I think this shape didn't exist back at the time, the 2x2 wedge curve there. Definitely trying to do as much with genuine building techniques and actually pulling off more in this, I think, than the last one, using actual physical builds as opposed to relying upon stickers or imagination. And when I finished it, I will say I felt very satisfied with the whole thing. Looking it over, it feels clean. The worst thing about it is just this right here. You just got a little trough right there. You got a 90-degree angle, comes up to a hard corner here. If you really stare at it, you know, okay, it's not as smooth as the rest. But then right next to that, just above it, is one of my favorite things here, the rear window. It's so simple. It's just flat, but it just fits in at such a perfect angle right there and fills the gap so perfectly. It's very satisfying for me. The worst thing build durability wise and fragility wise is definitely that these end plates for the wing are able to fall off because they're only attached with a single, yeah, it's already loosening up. Attached with a single stud from the underside. So it's very easy to touch this from the top. It does not have a tremendous amount of clutch power under there. You notice that the rear lights are done in a familiar way. Again, I'll compare this to the previous Vantage that they did. That's a print right there. For most of the decorations that you're seeing are stickers, but the windscreen is actually printed well, including the bottom line getting pretty close to the edge there. It doesn't go all the way, but it gets close and it goes pretty far back as well. So lining up this sticker right here towards the front of this piece was allowing me to, you know, it allowed me to get a fairly continuous look to the window there. Of course, you can take the bar off from up here if you want a cleaner look. Yeah, but you know, this is the intent here. This shape isn't the best, but it's not too bad. These are printed here, of course. You got stickers right there. There was another thing in this that was printed. Oh, I know what it is, but it's not here. But yeah, just overall, I'm very satisfied with this. As usual, it takes a little bit of extra concentration, maybe a little bit of patience to set up the stickers in the best way possible. You know, sometimes you want to wait a few steps to see where everything's going to sit and where everything's going to be aligned. Got room for your 2 figures in there, of course, and a sticker for the console over there on the right. All right, here are the 2 8-wide Vantages together. Obviously, this one's the GT3. It's a race car. It's, well, it's trimmed out, has a lot of different aero going on with it, but you know, this one was very good for its day, but it just didn't have as many of the newest pieces available then. And this was already pushing the limits, I think, in a really good way. Again, aero is a big difference on this one, but there you see the familiar design for the lights, right? And it worked. I mean, that's I think the closest you can reasonably get within that kind of space without sizing up, without making everything thicker. So it's perfectly fine that they kept that the same. You can see the different parts were used for the rear windows on the sides there. So you're able to get more of just a continuous, nice, smooth look. The doors were done better here. You had a little small gap under there. I think the printing today is a little bit better also. And you know, it's not that old, but it still stands up, but this is just a little bit cleaner. They just keep pushing the bar up and forward a little bit every time. It's a similar situation with the Formula One car, but this one's actually even more similar to another build, and I'll show you that as well. But just looking at the car on the whole by itself, It's excellent. I mean, considering that this is made of Lego pieces, a lot of these are very, very small. They're using absolutely the very latest pieces as best they can, including the little 1x2 by 2/3 cheese slope, the longer cheese slope, which other companies have had for many, many years. But it's nice to see that added to Lego's inventory as well. Same with the 1x2 corner tile piece, or a wedge tile piece. You see that here. It's used inside as well. Yeah, just a whole lot of little subtle things that are used to fill up small spaces in very effective ways. The rear wing stack is very, very thick, unfortunately. That one's, it feels overdone. But they tried to get the outer shaping good, and unfortunately, we're just limited with the size of pieces here. The worst thing about this is definitely the use of the exact same wheels and tires, front and rear. If you know these cars, you can tell. The difference between the fronts and the rears today with the modern formula isn't that great, but it's great enough that this is already, I mean, these are already looking too small. These are looking a lot too small. That is nitpicking, definitely. This is, after all, only Lego, but they do have the ability to create new molds whenever they want. Honestly, they can make bigger wheels and tires for especially the rears of open wheel cars. But all in all, I mean, I'm really nitpicking here because ultimately this is masterful. This is better than anything I could ever do, and they just keep that high level of quality up, and they keep, like I said, making it better and better. You've got a print right here at the nose, print on the top here, stickers used on the sides, which you can orient or align fairly close to the bottom line there, so it's not too obvious. The edge, stickers, multiple stickers used on one piece here, but not overlapping. Multiple stickers used back here as well. This is a print on top, not the greatest quality print. Love the steering wheel, which is Formula One specific, or race car specific at least. The yoke, if I can get that to kind of focus a little bit. So that's gunmetal gray, the color there. The black spoons used for the side view mirrors. Suggestions of suspension arm linkages to the best of their reasonable ability. Yeah, lots of good stuff here. No engine detail to be seen. Of course, the figure will fit in. You can open up the halo, move the halo back in order to get your figure into the seat there. But generally, this is done very, very well. It has small things that are off. The biggest thing that's off about it, though, that I've heard from a lot of people, and it's justified, is a similarity to the McLaren. Now, it makes sense at this scale for the cars to be similar. They are very, very similar in design in real life, but pretty much the front 3/4 are darn near identical between these two builds, and it's obvious if you put them side by side, even more obvious when you build them. It's really the engine cover and the wing that are done differently between the two. Relatively subtle things, So, folks who always want to get a new build every single time are missing out on that here. And that's understandable, an understandable disappointment, but I wouldn't want them to completely ruin the design of these very fine cars, one to the next, just to make it different, just to make it different for the sake of being different. But it does feel like it would have been nice to have more differences than this. However, both look great one way or another to me. The figures for the two, as far as I know, do not represent any specific individuals. There may be some similarity, but they're definitely not licensed. So we're just looking at the torsos. Those are really the special things between the two. And, it's fine. Each one is fine enough. Would have been nice to get more detail in there. Prints on more pieces. We only got the prints on the torsos, and of course the faces, and also, that counts. The print for the helmet, exclusive Aston Martin design there. That's actually quite well done. Of course, pro tip for folks who don't know this: if you don't like the choice of faces, you can swap those out because this is Lego. They do include an extra headgear piece for each of these, so that's good. And that brings me to the leftover parts, and then we can take a look at the sticker sheets, plural. This is a sticker sheet for the Vantage safety car right there. And then here's the one for the Formula One car. Yep, because it's a Formula One car. It has a heck of decorations all over it. Be happy that you're not building an actual model kit that would have like 3 times as many. Again, I paid $45 US for this. It's 50 euros, which is worse than the usual exchange rate between them. It's 45 pounds UK, which is also worse than usual, and $60 Canadian, which is just a little bit cheaper than in the US. It's 564 pieces. The builds are very, 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 very good. Mostly familiar, especially for this one. Not quite as much with this, a lot more utilization of the very latest pieces that were not available the last time we did, the last time we had a Vantage. I will say that the Vantage looks more like a C7 Corvette from some angles, like there, yeah. Especially if we don't look at the, if we don't look, I don't know, maybe there, yeah, definitely looks like a C7 Corvette, almost like a ZR1 to me. But I mean, the shaping is about right, and yeah, the build process. Smooth. Don't like how these fall off easily, but I can't complain because making them more secure would require adding more pieces, and then it wouldn't look as good. So I'm happy with the Speed, and I trust the Speed Champions designers right now. They are really on top of their game. They know what they're doing. They do good work fairly consistently. Not everything they've done has been perfect, but they're pretty dang good pretty frequently, and there's no exception here. They just really need some larger wheels and tires for the rears of the open wheel cars. Would be great, and they could also use those for like dragsters, I think, and possibly, and some muscle cars and things. I don't know, just having some more options would be nice for them. But so far, so good. I'm happy with this. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.